Hi, Alan Coleman here. Um, for today, I was going to do a video presentation over yoga and Pilates for my class instead of doing the written part. Today, I'll be going over a bunch of things describing my experience from this yoga class and also um, health benefits from yoga and injury prevention and anything that in history also the history of yoga and just things about yoga that most people need to know and how I can make my video presentation a good presentation. So first, I'm gonna just show you my slide. I got the dark background, yoga and Pilates. All right, for my first slide, I wanted to go over the history, and I have my work cited at the end of each slide. Yoga dates back to almost 5,000 years ago. Um, and yoga was developed by the Indus Sarah, I can't pronounce that word, but civilization in northern India. The word yoga was first mentioned in the oldest sacred text, the Rig Veda, and it was also multiple ways to do yoga and practice it with like different religions and the different time periods of yoga and how it evolved. So what I found was the person who developed it, and I also found a bunch of there was a bunch of websites that had like the modern yoga, the early pre historic yoga, all the yogas that it had and the differences between them and how they've evolved. Today's yoga is much different because there's more technology that people have, and also many different poses people can work on. So I feel like if someone was to actually teach yoga and try to practice it, they should know the history behind it and things about yoga that most people don't know. In my second slide, I'm talking about the health benefits of yoga. Now, before I even get into all that, most people don't know about yoga or Pilates, or they don't know the health benefits of it. It's actually pretty good, and it's a good thing to know because it can help the body in many ways and help your mind in many ways, and that's what people don't know. First, I have yoga can contribute heavily on one's mental and physical health. Physical health benefits I have increased flexibility, improved respiration, energy, improved athletic performance, protection from injury. Now, those are being the physical health benefits. So say, like me, I played football in high school, football and basketball, and I didn't really know anything about yoga. So I didn't really work on doing yoga poses, which if we did, it would help me tremendously because on the physical part of the body, most people don't work out their hamstrings and stretch them as much and stretch, parts of the body or work on back exercises to improve the strength of the back. So yoga helps a lot with any sport that you do because you can be more mobile, more flexible, and like it said, have improved athletic performance. So you would be able to perform better. Um, Next, I have the mental health benefits. So I have it helps with stress, positive outlook on things, and controls the mind and body. Um, Most people have a lot of stress that they deal with in life, and yoga can be a contributing factor to helping with that. If one was to do yoga by themselves with some calm music, they would love what they're doing, and they would release so much stress that they have built up in their body. And after doing yoga for like weeks and weeks, they would have a positive outlook on life, and they would not be as stressed out just because that's how beneficial yoga is to a person. um Second thing that I wanted to hit on after the physical and mental health aspect, I wanted to talk about injury prevention. Now, like I said, in football and basketball, we really didn't focus on doing yoga poses and trying to, you know, actually work on things like of that nature. So people would get hurt. I'm not saying that if you don't do it, you'll get hurt. I'm just saying yoga is a great way to prevent things from being hurt because you're stretching the muscles, your body is more relaxed, and it's accustomed to stretching those muscles that you don't really stretch on a daily basis. So for my injury prevention slide, I put when doing yoga, you want to take your time and focus on the stretches, because if you're taking your time and you're focusing on that must say we're working the hamstring. If you focus on doing a pose that is working that hamstring, and also, yeah, it hurts a little bit, but you're just stretching it and you're getting your body accustomed to that feeling, and you're taking it slow. I also put you don't want to overstretch. So in the class that yoga was taught with you, I was not very flexible, and I didn't really want to overstretch things, and I felt that at a point where we do some poses, I felt that I was overstretching things, so I had to ease off a little bit. And that's how it is with most people. Some girls or boys can do, more than what others can do. And so that's a thing that I wanted to hit on. Because if you overstretch, you may pull a muscle, you may pull your hamstring or pull your groin, and you never know. So that's why I say you don't want to overstretch. You also want to know what you're doing and if you're doing it right. So you always want to have an instructor that can teach you the right fundamentals of how to do a pose, so you won't be doing it incorrectly and messing up things in your body or such of that sort. And I also put you don't want to have the same poses, or you don't want to repeat the same poses. Work on other parts of the body. So with that being said, you don't want to stretch only the hamstrings that day and just do only hamstring stretches. You wanna balance it out. You want to work on your stretching your back or stretching your hamstring, your quads. You know, getting your full body experience when doing stretches, because if you just work on hamstring for a week, then you may injure your hamstring or may injure something else just because you focused on working the hamstring. So it's a bunch of factors that contribute to injury prevention, but you just want to be mindful of what you're doing and how you're doing it and who's teaching it. You want to have someone that's qualified and that knows what they're doing, and yeah, to prevent things like that. Um, for my next slide, it was the conclusion about, talking about what we learned in class, or is yoga, like, facts about yoga. I actually talked a lot about it, not that much, but my experience in this yoga class. I actually loved the yoga class. That's why I took it. I actually liked it, even though I was not able to do, half the poses that most people in the class were able to do. But I tried. I didn't like quit or anything. I wanted to be calm, come in there every day to try to learn something new that I didn't know about yoga. And you really helped me um, focus on certain things. Obviously, knowing that I love to, hoop in the gym and, do things and be active. Because most people are not active, and I like to be active, but I don't stretch at all. So that yoga class, it was kind of helping me get a better understanding of how I could perform better and things I could work on that were hurting me. Like my hamstrings were tight; they're too tight. I have back problems. That my back hurts, but the yoga, it was helping. I was exceeding things that I wouldn't think I would be able to do. Stretching, far, doing things that I didn't think was possible. So I really loved and enjoyed the class, and I wish we could have finished it out, but due to COVID-19 and all that stuff. But I was really enjoying going to that class 2 times a week and just releasing all this negative and energy, and just focusing on my body. I don't really have a lot of stress unless it comes to like class or work. But other than that, I don't really stress about things. So I wasn't really stressed going to the class. My main focus was making sure I was doing the poses right and actually working on things that could help me, help my body. So that's why I feel as if people should know about yoga, or a little bit about it. Sorry. And they also need to know about the injury risk, because you can't just go in there thinking you just finna do this yoga and think you're finna be the best at it. It doesn't work like that. Yoga takes time, patience, and it's just a skill that most people need to pick up on, because it can help you physically and mentally a lot, way more than you think. And so that's why I think people need to know about it. Me personally, it helps me mentally and physically, because mentally I'm not as stressed, but it gets my mind better because I feel better after I do it. And physically, I'm sore after I do the things, but I know that once I keep doing it and keep improving, I'll be a better, athlete. I'll be better physically. I wouldn't be having hamstring problems or back problems because I would have been working on that and getting up to that to where I can do yoga practically every day and feel good about myself. So that's why I think, yoga is good for people to know. I thank you for watching my video, and I will send the slides to you. And thank you.